Well, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. My name is Katiepursey, and this is nonnamikat, and we bought the sale just over, we're going on 2 years now, and we just are so passionate about saving money, helping families say yes, and just keeping the community together, and just, so we are here to help you all tonight. So let's get started. So first off, let's talk about collecting items around the house. So you are going to be gathering all sorts of things. So think beyond toys, baby gear, books, games, electronics, outdoor equipment, furniture, room decor, and more. So don't forget to check everywhere. We have to explore the attic. You never know what kind of stuff that you may be tucked away that baby's grown out of, or just kind of some memorabilia you think, maybe I'll hold on to this. Maybe it's time to purge those things. I know I tuck away all of our snow gear underneath the house. And so those are the kind of things for the fall sale that we'll be looking for. Check your garage, your backyard. You never know what kind of slides and things like that you have out there. Those are always really hot items to sell at the sale. Your kitchen. I don't have it here today, but I had one of those baby mats that hold nice and tight firm to the table that I had tucked away in the kitchen. My youngest is going on 7, so we're past that stage. Check your linen closet, right? Twin, full, queen, we accept those kind of bedding sheets. We do have bags available to help you stuff those kind of items in. Check the laundry room. You never know what kind of stuff you've stored in there. We've got, your game closet. You'll find your puzzles and game boards and things like that. And then grandma's house, right? Who doesn't have those kind of things stored away, an extra swing bassinet and those kind of items in there. So speaking on that topic, we do have a Pick 5 program. So our Pick 5 program, you earn 100% on your first $100 in sales on these items. So you do find this information on our Facebook page. There are things like activity tables, pack and plays, mamaroos, kitchens, car seats, wagons. So I can hand this out here. You guys can take a look at. But these kind of items are highly sought out at the sale. And if you've ever shopped with us after day 1, you will think that they never even had those kind of items at the sale because they're gone. They've been shopped over, and we're always looking for more. So our shoppers are always looking for these kind of items. So I'll hand this out for you to look at. So these are the kind of things you'll want to look around the house and say, that's the kind of stuff I'm going to be bringing to the sale. Let's talk about the 4 C's. So we have clean, complete, current, and compliant. So for cleaning, we need to make sure all items are free of tears, holes, debris, excess wear, fading, stains, that all buttons snap and all zippers work. And so one of the tips I like to say is watch out for the bottom of these footy pajamas because kids maybe stay in these a little bit too long, right? And their toes get a little too big and they poke through and create a hole in this area. Like we said, make sure that these zippers work all the way and that the snaps work also. Let's see here. So complete, we need to make sure that puzzles and games include all pieces. Instructions included, preferably, especially. You can reprint those online. Toys need to have batteries to function properly. And then safety items like high chair straps must be present and included. So exceptions would include like Legos and building blocks. You can say, what are those mega blocks? And just say 40 mega blocks, but maybe it came in a set of 50 and just price accordingly for something like that. Current, items that are less than 5 years old sell best. They should also be in season. So for spring sales, avoid heavy coats and snow boots or holiday themed items. So for the fall, vice versa, right? So we do not accept tank tops or shorts. So we do allow sporting shorts for this sale and that, but no shorts for summertime, no flip-flops and those kind of items. The reason why we focus on that is that the racks get so heavy and full and big already. So minimizing that kind of stuff really helps our shoppers be able to look what they're looking for the fall sale. Compliant. So we need to check for recalls You can do this on the CPSC website. So many recalls can be fixed and sold safely, but we need to make sure all safety items are included. Car seats and cribs will need to have these waivers. So like I said, you can scan the QR code to get that. They can also be printed off online. So here's our car seat waiver and our crib waiver. So you can find those online, print them yourself. They will also be available at the sale for you to fill out there. We also have tape and our large ticket item tags available at the sale with scissors and zip ties if needed to fill that kind of stuff out. All right. So sorting. As you start to collect, you want to sort your items into 4 categories, right? So you've got your, I'm ready to sell this, I'm ready to donate it. Maybe it doesn't quite hit the mark. I have a bag full of here that's ready to head to, well, either I'm going to try to launder it or donate it to a friend. That it's still usable, right? It's still a shirt, but it's just not accepted as JBF quality. You might not be able to see this here. This is a really good example. At my house, I couldn't see it, and a friend was helping me tag, and there's yellow staining. And baby's spit up just sadly shows up under this bright lights. And when we get to the sale, those bright lights show stains that you might not have seen at home. So it's best to tag in really bright lighting if you have it. If you have some sort of light available, my husband, we used to use our, what do you call those, workshop lights? He used to put those over me as I was tagging to help see the stains. But watch for the neck. These are really notorious for getting those spit up stains. I've got a couple cleaning tips that I've used to be able to get that out. And the best thing is to let it dry in the sunlight. That, for some reason, just gets those stains right out. But those kind of items would be a no thank you. And it's not counted against you. It's absolutely fine. And just know you probably will have a few, and that is absolutely okay. So I'm going to put that there. So donate, and then there's just toss, right? The item's way too old. It cannot be fixed. It's extremely dirty. There's just some things that we need to accept that it's okay to throw away. And then just items that you might want to keep that, you know, are just nostalgic. Maybe you brought home your child in that outfit or something, and that's something you want to hold on to. So as for cleaning, that is our next topic. We need to clean them all thoroughly. So we need to remove those dust, debris, dirt, adhesives, and old price labels. Maybe you bought something at Goodwill and you cleaned it up for your child and they wore it for a little bit. Goodwill is notorious for having a price at the bottom of the shoe in permanent marker. I like to use a magic eraser, some lemon oil to get that out. Still let my kids play in them. And then when they're done, we can still consign it at the sale. I just bought a pair of Toms at a garage sale, and they put tape right over the top of it. And I pulled it off, and it left this terrible adhesive spot on there. And what's the stuff we use? The Goo Gone. I sprayed that on there, let it sit overnight, and I came back and just washed it off with water, and it's all better. So I don't think there's much that we can't get not clean, right? So just putting a little bit of love and time into those items will help our profits in the long run too. So ensure that they're free of pet fur or any odors. I like to use Febreze or this Downy Wrinkle Releaser. This has a great smell to it. When we spray it on these items, it also helps relax any of the wrinkles and it just makes it really nice and presentable for the sale. So prepping, make sure you're inspecting as you go. Like I said, these are our items. My daughter is just really rough in her clothes too. We've got this nice tie-dye jacket here. I thought nothing of it. Well, no, there's brown stains in this pink and white jacket. And so that's just, I could not get those stains out, and that's absolutely okay. I'm still gonna donate it to a friend because it's still a great sweater that's able to be worn, just not accepted at JBF. Wash and hang your items properly, ensuring that hangers hang in the correct direction. So as you can see here, all these items are facing the same way. When you're looking at the item, it should be in a question mark form. And I always say if you're questioning it, you're doing it right? So you're gonna make sure that your tag is on the right-hand side. When I put these together, I like that both of the items are facing on the outside so that a mom can see that, oh, both of them are really cute and have animals on it. I really like that. Same with this one here. I've got the dinosaurs on both sides, both of the fronts here. So for newborn to 24 months, it's best to bundle outfits together. For 2T and up, bundle tops and bottoms separately, as many children wear different sizes in pants and tops. So make sure when you're bundling items together that if it's a 24-month and a 2T, they are separate sizes, even though it might seem that they're the same. So 3-month and 0 to 3 are also different sizes. So make sure if you're pairing a pair of pants with a onesie that they are the same size. Let's see. Only bundle items if they are originally sold as a set. That's kind of our best practice. It is okay to pair maybe a pair of jeans with a little onesie or something like that. That's just fine. Here's a cute little one that my daughter just never got into these, but do you see how it came on this and that can't be hung on the rack? So we just kind of took a couple of zip ties and put it on that item. And otherwise, if they stay in a Ziploc bag or something like that, we highly suggest to not go that route because they just aren't shopped well at all. If you've been to our sale, if things are in Ziploc bags or in accessories, that's kind of the last place people check. You know, they're just done. They've shopped what they're looking for. They're maybe not coming to accessories. So this is a really great option. I'm like a little squirrel. Okay, so equipment and outdoor toys. We need to clean thoroughly, wipe down all the trays and fabric, and let items sit out in the sun. Print any manuals or instructions that can sometimes help your items sell better. Those QR codes that you saw on that blue sheet, you can create those for free online for anything. So maybe you have a toy that it doesn't quite give a great instruction of how to play with it. You can print a QR code of the item off of YouTube or something. So a mom can scan it and be like, that's really cool. Or maybe it's some sort of electronic gadget that they don't know how to use it. You can create your own QR codes for free online and print it out. You can put it on any sort of toy or car seat to show that it can adjust. I like to hose down my larger toys or equipment. You can use a pressure washer on a slide, something like that. Moving on to shoes. If washable, you can throw them in the washing machine in those little garment bags. That's what I just did this past weekend in our last bit of sun. And then I put them out in the yard to dry. We highly suggest removing any pilling to clean out the Velcro straps. So I just take one of my safety pins and I go through here and just kind of make sure that this is nice and clean. I promise you it just goes a lot further of a distance when it comes to the presentation of your items. For best presentation, connect pairs with zip tie or ribbon or yarn, or sometimes if you have to, like blue tape when it comes around boots or something. Ideally, shoes should be put out of a box or a bag for better, easier presentation or inspection. Games and puzzles. Ensure the completeness by assembling the puzzles, making sure all the pieces are there, and taping the box shut with blue or any other color painter's tape. we joke about this because there's two types of tape to always use. I apologize, I don't have both with me, but this is packing tape. You don't want to use packing tape on anything with paper on it. When Nona and I were over at training, there was one of those train tables that has more of a paper finish on top, right? And they had taped their yellow tag onto the train table with this. And we were like, no way, we're not touching that and helping take it off because it will rip the finish off. So it is always best to take a look at those items and decide to yourself, is this something that should be using packing tape or painter's tape? So those are both items that we sell online. We sell the really thin painter's tape and it helps you see, here we go. This is a really good example. That's how thin the painter's tape is that we sell online. I want to say it's $1.50 for that. So moving on to movies and DVDs, we do not accept VHS anymore. We've moved past that stage in life. But when we have DVDs, ensure that they are scratch-free and no higher than PG-13 because we are a kids consignment sale. Tape DVD cases closed using packing tape unless it's cardboard, and then you use your painter's tape. If a shopper wants to see inside of it, they can ask one of our employees, and they're more than happy to open them up just to make sure that it is the right DVD in the right bin. Car seat and cribs. So we need to make sure, like we said, checking for recalls and compliant waiver forms. Ensure all parts and the manual are included. You will need to set this up at the sale. There are some gentlemen that will be available to help, or maybe some team leaders in that if needed. So car seats must have at least 1 year of life left in them if you are to be selling them. So you can find that online. At the bottom of the car seat, it should have a date on it, like 2019. And it's typically 7 to 10 years past that, depending. Go ahead and look at that make and model to decide if that's how long that's left. Do not repaint cribs. Their chemicals will be released into those bite marks, and that would be turned away and be a no thank you. So when we move on to pricing our items, JBF advertises that everything is 50 to 90% off retail. So consider what you would pay for an item and aim for a deal that makes the buyer feels really great about their purchase, something that they're going to run home and tell their friends about, right? Use the price guide. It's going to be on that blue sheet there for recommended pricing and brand and item type. I always say have a friend with you. If you're thinking something's $5 and your friend's thinking $7, you can meet right in the middle at $6, right? And that just helps you get a little bit unstuck, especially if you are emotionally pricing something. So I am terribly heartbroken that my daughter didn't get to wear these. And I really think that these should be $8, but let's be honest, they were sold for $6 and there's no way we should do that. So that's the kind of thing, having a friend, maybe husband, sister, to help you with that pricing so you don't get stuck on emotionally pricing something. Let's see. So you want to go a little bit higher for items with new with tag, right? That's understandable. Boutique brands. On that topic, I know it's here. For boutique brands, we do have these available, these blue tags in our supply order. You can also print them online as long as they're on that blue cardstock. We add this to this just to show. I priced this item at $9. You might think I'm crazy, but it retails for $32. So yes, it is still over half off of retail, and it still is a brand new with tag item. So we add that blue tag just to show a shopper we're not crazy. There's a reason why we have it priced the way we do. So if you have any questions about that, we do have a document that shows what's a boutique brand and what isn't. We do suggest lowering prices for infant clothing, maternity, and bargain brands. When you think about at your baby shower, you get a ton of newborn 0 to 3 and 3-month items. And if you've ever shopped with us, you've seen we have an abundance in that area. So you're going to be competing with those sellers. So we suggest to come down on those brands. Maternity is just something that you wear for less than 9 months, right? So that is just not something that is shopped as often. So we suggest keeping those prices low for there. Avoid using inflated Amazon prices. So I've got my handy dandy phone here, but this is a trick that I like to use when I'm pricing and I'm stuck. So here's my Google right now. I've got this little tiny camera button in the side. When we're done here, I'm happy to come a little bit closer. I'm going to hit that there, and I have no idea about this item. I don't know what to price it at, can't find it online, so we're just going to snap a photo. And this is what happens. It comes up and it shows that $10, it's out of stock, but that's $6 there, $10. Okay, that helps me. Let's price it right at $8. Great. So when you get stuck, if you don't have a friend with you, that Google search is such an awesome way to find if it's still sold in store online. But sometimes you've seen it, especially since COVID, Amazon, Walmart, they do inflate those prices because they know it's still highly sought after, but it's not being made anymore. So they might inflate it. But think about what it would have been sold for in store at the time. Considerations for pricing. So full price versus reduce. So an item like this, I am not reducing this item because it is a brand new jacket with tags, and I know I still have a very fair price on this at $13. It is well over a $30 jacket, still sold today. So I have it at $13. This star right here means that it's going to stay full price and it will not go half off. for 98% of all of my items, I do let reduce. So it does not have a star down below here. So that means on the half price day, this item is going to be $3 for both of these. I don't know that I have one that says a D in the corner right now, but if you choose to donate, it's going to have a D in the top corner. And that just means that at the end, if your item doesn't sell, even half price, it will be donated to one of our 5 charity partners. And so it is still going to find a lovely home. The benefits of donating, your consignor fee is completely waived. You do get a shopping time that's quite a bit earlier, and you do have the option to use our express drop. Entering information into the tagging site. Has anyone here started tagging? Okay. So if you have your consignor number, everything is good in that way, and maybe you've already started on your own. You're going to go to myjbftags.com. You're going to log in and hover over tagging and create tags. I really like to use rapid entry. I like to get everything the same. Maybe I'm just doing all size 6 shoes, right? So I'll get 9 of the same thing. When you get into rapid entry, it creates, so say you're going to do size 6 shoes, it fills in all that information for you so you don't have to go line by line and put every item in. So the season isn't necessary. You don't need to put that in. The category, you just want to choose the best category for your item. That does not conflict with, so this one says clothing boys. We can really generally tell what it is. If you accidentally marked clothing girls or shoes and it's on this, we're not going to turn it away. It's absolutely fine. But for an item like bedding, it's okay if it falls into a miscellaneous category. That's just fine. The description, be as detailed, specific as possible. Include brand, color, theme, character, item type, maybe a bodysuit or button-up, and retail value maybe for higher priced items. So the reason why we say that is this right here is Kids Headquarters 2-piece zip footless PJ set with dino theme. So this is a really long example right here, right? But what happens is if we're shopping and this item accidentally falls off the tag, right? What's going to happen is it's going to go to our back room, and this will be separated onto a rack, and this tag gets hung up on the wall. And our lovely workers sit and try to match, I just looked up there like it's there. Our workers will look and try to match that tag to that item. If you just put zip up onesie, we don't know if it belongs to that because there might be multiple items, right? So same for shoes. We have a couple consignors out there that just write book. We cannot sell it at that point because it's not fair if someone else has a tag out there and it actually matches that description. So this one says Pinocchio, Disney, Wonderful World of Reading. Perfect. I know that goes to that. Let's sell it to that customer. So size, choose the best option. If no exact size is available, select the closest and include details in the description. So sometimes items will say like 30 because it's a boutique item. Go online and try to find the best matching size for that. And then price. Try to keep a minimum price of hanging items at $3. For onesies and things like that, I put them down to like $1.50 if it's 2 little onesies. Like we've talked about, reduce and donate options. Check the boxes if applicable on there. And then quantity. Only for identical items in the same size and style, there is a box on the right-hand side. So maybe you bought 10 of these same jackets. There is an option to hit that, and it adds all of it up for you, and you don't have to make 10 tags. That's a really nice point. So don't walk away while you're entering tags. Save it often. I have a guilty habit of going up like, oh, I'm hungry. I'm going to go make some popcorn. I've been tagging for a while. And I come back and I put in all those tags and I didn't hit save. And it went away, all my progress. So just make sure you're hitting save as you go along. That can be very frustrating. So moving on to printing. Start by printing in smaller batches to avoid tags, like avoiding waste. You'll find in there we gave you 10 pieces of cardstock. That's good for 90 tags. And so we always say do 9 and 9. We print 9 tags a night is kind of known in our challenge. And that way we know we're using 1 sheet of cardstock and we're not wasting any more. So maybe you're getting tired. I only have 5 items. Run around that house and find just a few more and you can get it all done in 1 sheet. Use white cardstock and print on your best quality setting to ensure clarity. And attaching items. So we highly suggest to use quality safety pins and place the tag on the right-hand shoulder of the clothing items, avoiding pinning through any waterproof items. This one here is tagged through the zipper, right? If we were to pin through this jacket, it would ruin the quality of the jacket. So anything waterproof like bathing suits and that, we pin through different areas to not ruin that item. We do offer tagging guns for $10 available online for sale. It'll come like this. I have an older one with me here today, just to show you guys in person where to be tagging. Let's see if I have one available. So you're always still going to want to stick to the right-hand side. And I'm going to take that tag and I would put it right on the front here before I go through. And you're going to go in the right, just right where there's 4 corners meet in that item. Make sure you are going through the seam. This is really not a good example of this furry item, but you're going to want to go through. And I can have Nona walk around too at the end and show you exactly where that needs to be put if that's an option that you're looking into using. If there is an actual, oh, thank you. Yeah, I've got this one too. Thank you. So this item here, do you see where all, where the 4 corners hit? You just want to go right through that seam. If you go through that right hand side in the front, sadly that item would be a no thank you and the items will be rejected. And I promise you it has happened every single sale and it hurts our hearts so much, but it will actually puncture and create a hole in that item. So it would be a no thank you. Thank you very much. If it has a tag right here, poke it right on through. That is absolutely okay to go through these tags. We are more than happy to do a in-person session on how to use this. Those safety pins. So we sell 3 different sizes online. You have some there. I don't know if those are 1, 2, or 3. I believe they're either 1 or 2. We sell size 1, 2, and 3 online. Size 1 is best for pinning. So you can see that one's a little bit smaller, pinning the tag to the item. Size 2 is good for bundling maybe 2 items together, just like this. And size 3 is best for jeans. So let's see if she used, that's still a number 2, but it's best for getting through jeans. Safety pins might seem scary, and it seems like it might create a hole through the item, but I promise you that quilters use this for fabric, for keeping items together. They are absolutely safe. I'm more than happy to poke through my shirt and show you it will not leave holes. We even leave them in for, say, over a year. Your tags are good for 2 years. So meaning if you keep it going, maybe you bring it back the next sale because it wasn't quite hitting the season for it. They do not leave holes in the items. Once you wash them, the weave will come right back together and it is just fine. This is an example of bundling 2 items together. You want to go through the top, around the hanger, in through the next one. And then we like to shake the item and make sure that it doesn't fall off the hanger because I'm sure you've walked the floor and you've seen some items on the ground. You need to make sure that you're using the proper size hanger for the item. You don't want to use an adult hanger on a newborn. And once you get past about 4T, you want to step up to an adult hanger when you step into 5T. Otherwise, it will fall down. So the jeans, this hanger's a little funky, but you're going to go through the 2 right-hand sides and then you're going to pin to the top of the hanger. If you don't do it properly, maybe you do it too wide, this is going to happen. And then the item turns into this and it gets lost in the rack just like this. Maybe even going to this side. And if you can see, your item no longer exists on that rack and it will just be shopped over because when I'm shopping, I'm going quick and I need to find what I'm looking for and that item would just get lost and it looks terrible right on that rack. So we always try to make sure we get in. That's why I do like the wire hangers too. They're a little bit more forgiving of getting the item on there. Let's see if I can bend this back. There we go. And then this is how it should look in the, let's see, even when we move it, it's not gonna go anywhere. Perfect. Tape, like we talked about, you can use packing or painter's tape. Just make sure what you, the plastic or the paper that you're adding onto. We do sell zip ties, but you can use ribbon, twine, anything like that. Get creative when you're packing your items. Nona brought up a great point the other day. You can even use packing tape to reinforce your tag when you punch a hole through it. That way it won't rip at the top. And then last, you get to drop off your items, right? At drop off, clothing, we like to separate them by gender before you get there and by size and category. So when you come into the sale, you have it all prepped and ready. So we like to store our clothing. I've got these blue bags here I bought off Amazon, maybe IKEA bags. Those big Costco totes are great. I like to throw a dryer sheet in there to make them smell nice and good right before it gets to the sale. Label and store all your containers, right? And then miscellaneous items, keep shoes and like items together. And then furniture, large equipment, you can drop those things off last. You can make 2 trips that's completely fine. And bring all parts and tools ready for setup. When you arrive at the venue, you're gonna park in the designated area. Please do not pull up front in the fire zone. You're gonna check in with 1 tagged item. So you're just gonna show up, bring in 1 item just to show Vonette at the front door. It helps check in your consignor number and registers all your tags into our system. So then you can go and get, maybe you have do we have carts by then? Yes. We do have carts available. We cannot bring rolling racks outside, but you're gonna bring in your items. You can bring a wagon, whatever you have at home, and bring in those items. There will be rolling racks with numbers on them, and you will be signed a rolling rack. You can put all your items on there, and then it will be rolled off to inspection. They're just gonna make sure to look into it and make sure there's no stains, holes, or anything. While your inspector is doing that, you can go put your items away over in the toys or in the shoes, Mommy Mart. In the infant area, we have drop zones available, so you don't have to put every toy, a Barbie, into the Barbie section. You just drop it in the girls section. You do need to put your shoes into that section, but it is very labeled out very clearly of where that needs to go. Books, there's also a drop zone. There's like infant, teen, chapter books and that kind of stuff. Past that, once you get through and finished up, you get to watch your sales live. So the most fun part, once you're all done, you're sitting back at home, we do the hard part for you, and you get to watch your sales. So that Tuesday night might be the first time that you start to see your sales go in. Our employees get to shop first, and those tags get uploaded at the end of the night, and you're like, yes, I've made enough that I can go shopping and get some more items for my kiddos. And maybe you've got 1 big ticket item, like a car seat and stroller that you put up for maybe $200. It's a really nice car seat and stroller set, and that puppy sells. And it's just such an exciting thing to be able to watch your sales live. You can do this by going into your JBF account and in the reports and sold section. And I promise you the moderators will be online on Facebook teaching you those kind of items. Don't forget to shop, right? Donate All consignors get to shop first at 10 a.m. on Wednesday with a guest, and all other consignors shop at noon on Wednesday with also access to the half price sale on Friday. Pickup is going to be for all unsold items. So if you choose not to donate all, you can pick up and you'll have your time slot available. We start at about 6:30, and we just have 3 or 4 sections that you're going to stop in and pick up your stuff and head on your way. So, and then after the sale is over, just recheck your items, maybe that you got home, for any flaws. Evaluate your pricing for the next sale. Maybe you were a little high, or all your stuff sold and you're like, maybe I was a little low on all those items. I can go up $1 or $2 in the future. Let's see. And then when you get paid. So when you set up for registration, just know that if you bank with Navy Federal, they do not like our e-checks. For some weird reason, they're the only bank that will not accept our e-checks. So we ask that you select a paper check. You will just look for that in your inbox or your physical mailbox. And yeah, so that is all. I'm sorry, that's a lot of information all at once. I've got plenty of presentations here of how to tag the items, what kind of cleaners we use, things that are available for sale online. We've got these yellow tags for the big ticket items. Just a heads up, we kind of have a rule of, what do we say? Anything that an 8-month pregnant woman couldn't carry, you want to put one of these on, right? Or anything that just can't fit in that cart is something. Yes. So Wow, and that's really dirty. I didn't see that. Anyways, so yeah, that's something that I can just take a Clorox wipe to real quick. But just for example, this is not something that would get a yellow tag, but you would just take a zip tie and attach it to anywhere creative on that item. But this is something that, you know, a mama can hold or someone can put in the hold area. So it would not need a yellow tag. Does anyone have any questions? That was so much to cover all at once.
What is the consignor's fee? What is that?
Yeah, so it's $20 to consign with Just Between Friends Bremerton. A couple months before the sale, we do have it at $15. We have an early bird special, and then it goes up to $20 past that.
$20, or what do you take off of like things that we sell?
So it's 60% goes back to the consignors, and then 40%.
Boutique items?
Yeah.
But it was like $35.
Yeah.
So does it still get like a boutique?
I think when you want to price that at a higher price still, right? Like maybe you want to go 8, 10, 13, whatever you want to do with that priced item. And I would suggest letting it go half off, but I would put that on there just to show that is why it's at that higher price. And then I like to put retails for 30, just to show that shopper, I'm not crazy. This is what I bought it for. And that's why it is priced at the point that it is. Kicky Pants is another one that's really high. And unless you know of these brands like Rags and that, some people will just gawk at that and say, what? You know, I'm just here to shop for those $2 to $3 items to help clothe my kid. But there's some out there that are just searching for Kate Quinn and all those other different items out there, Matilda Jane, and they know what they're looking for. So some of them just search for these boutique brands and know that they're still getting a killer of a deal. Mm-hmm. So there's multiple options. So I've got one over here on a hanger. So this is an option just to bring it like this, but maybe even zip tie it on it because otherwise, okay, this one's actually staying on, but typically they will fall right off onto the ground. So I would just, if you do it, maybe zip tie it on. Yeah, so that's what that's gonna look like. High value. So anything over $50 needs to be checked in at the front. We will scan that item and it will go into our high value area. We have plenty of signage. We're trying to make it more shoppable in that. I've seen like owlet socks, maybe Coach bag, you know, things like that. What other kind of items? Yeah, some carriers are. Yes, yeah. This one's right under the mark at 45. Yes, electronics is a big one. We had an Xbox in there. But you can walk in and shop. It is just like if you were to go to Target and try to buy a Switch game, you would buy it right there in the back and purchase it with a receipt and not walk out with it. So it is a manned booth at all time. We have an employee. Yeah. So don't be afraid to sell high value area items. We go in there and we do a live every single day to showcase your items. We get on that microphone and say, have you checked out that high value area item? So just to help you guys be able to sell your items. Unless the bottle is new, these pieces will need to be removed from the item. Any of these used bottles or binkies, those would be a no thank you. So I need to take that out. Brand new, that's absolutely fine. Yep.